All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into the world of David Goggins.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're going to unpack his approach to self-improvement
Right.
and try to see what practical lessons we can all learn from him.
Yeah, definitely.
Goggins is really known for his no-nonsense, like
Yeah.
take action philosophy,
Totally.
no sugarcoating at all.
No, he doesn't really believe in shortcuts or magic solutions.
Yeah?
He's all about confronting your weaknesses head on
Yeah,
and really developing that mental toughness through consistent action.
that's right. And are you ready to get a little uncomfortable?
I think I am.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So let's start with his daily routine.
Okay.
I mean, this guy runs at least 12 miles every single morning.
That's wild.
It's insane.
It's more than just physical exercise for him, though.
Right.
He sees it as a way to armor up his mind for the day.
Yeah.
So think about it, like a warrior wouldn't go into battle without their armor, right?
Right, of course.
So this run is kind of his mental preparation for any challenges that might come up.
That's a really powerful analogy.
Yeah.
And it's not even like he enjoys the run. I've heard him say that he hates running.
Yeah, you're right. He's not doing it for that runner's high.
Right.
It's about building discipline and mental fortitude.
Okay.
It's about choosing to do something uncomfortable and building up that resilience to handle anything that comes his way.
So it's not about loving it.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the benefit
Right.
and pushing through even when it sucks.
Yeah.
So how does this all tie into his views on self-esteem?
That ties in perfectly.
Okay.
He believes that real confidence isn't something that you get from just like saying affirmations in the mirror.
Right.
He thinks you earn it through achieving things,
Okay.
overcoming challenges.
So you got to actually do stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he actually says,
Yeah.
you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror,
Okay.
but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are.
So how do we apply that? Like regular people, we're not all Navy SEALs.
That's where it gets interesting because he argues that it's not about the specific actions, but it's about the principle behind it. So it's about finding challenges in our own lives that push us outside of our comfort zone and taking consistent action to overcome those challenges.
He calls it build belief, right?
He does.
Like this idea that believing in yourself isn't like something that just magically happens.
Yeah. It's not given.
You're going to work for it.
Exactly. It's like proving to yourself that you can handle things.
Yeah.
So is there something that feels daunting to you? Something you've been putting off?
Yeah.
That might be a good place to start.
So like, what does that look like in practice?
It could be anything.
Okay.
As long as it stretches you. So maybe it's like finally committing to that fitness goal.
Right.
Launching that side hustle. Maybe it's having a tough conversation you've been avoiding.
Yeah, those are all really good examples. So it sounds like the key is you got to pick something specific and actionable.
Exactly.
And then just go after it.
Totally. And that leads us to another one of his key principles. Which is the danger of getting stuck in the planning phase.
Oh, man.
Talking about our goals instead of actually taking action.
Ooh. We've all been there.
Right.
Like, it's so easy to talk about our dreams and ambitions.
It is.
It's almost like we're making progress just by talking about it.
He would call that a trap.
Okay.
He says that we get a dopamine hit
Right.
from discussing our aspirations,
Okay.
like sharing our big plans with others, but that actually drains the energy we need to do the work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like we're tricking ourselves into thinking that we're moving forward.
Hey.
But real progress comes from actually doing something.
Exactly. He's all about shifting from talking to doing.
Okay.
From aspiration to action.
So stop letting those conversations drain your energy.
Yeah.
And start channeling that energy into concrete steps.
I like that. Concrete steps.
So if you're feeling stuck, you've been talking about a goal for ages but haven't actually done anything.
Right.
What's the first thing you should do?
I guess it's figuring out that first step you can take.
Yeah.
No matter how small.
Exactly. Don't get bogged down in planning the perfect scenario.
Right.
Just take action.
Even if it's a tiny step.
Even if it's tiny step? Goggins would say those small steps done consistently, they build momentum and lead to big breakthroughs.
So it's not about having all the answers or waiting for the perfect moment.
Nope.
It's about deciding and taking that first step.
Absolutely. And this ties into another point he makes.
Okay.
He talks about becoming the master of your dream.
Oh, yeah. I've heard him say that.
Have you?
What does that even mean?
He's saying instead of letting the dream control you,
Okay.
you take control of it.
By breaking it down into smaller steps,
Right.
figure out the actions required to achieve it.
Yeah.
And just be relentless about getting it done.
So it's about taking ownership.
It is.
Not just dreaming, but actually doing.
Yeah. So instead of just wishing you were a successful entrepreneur,
Right.
you actually sit down and make that business plan.
Okay.
Do your research network with investors,
Become a master of the details.
You got it. And that's exactly how he approached his own transformation.
Right.
He didn't just wish he was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
He came from a really tough background.
Mm-hmm.
He meticulously planned his training, focused on his nutrition.
Wow.
Pushed himself beyond his limits every single day.
He's like the proof that it works.
He is.
But not everyone's journey will look like his.
That's true.
We don't all need to become ultra athletes or do these extreme challenges.
Right. His story's unique.
Yeah.
But the principles are universal.
That's a good point.
It's about figuring out where you want to grow, where you want to push past your limitations. Okay.
And then applying that same level of intention and action.
I like that.
Taking that drive and focus, that master of your dream mentality.
Yeah.
And applying it to your own goals.
And you know what's cool about that?
What?
As you start to achieve things you thought were impossible, your confidence grows.
But totally.
You start to see new possibilities.
That's exactly. And Goggins often talks about the limiting power of a narrow worldview.
So like he's telling people to break free from those limitations.
He is.
The voices in our heads telling us what we can't do.
Exactly. He's challenging us to dream bigger than our circumstances might suggest.
I love that.
Expanding your horizons.
Yeah.
Realizing that your potential is greater than you think.
Like, don't let your zip code determine your destiny.
I love that.
Yeah.
And this all connects back to building belief.
Okay.
As you start pushing past those limits.
Yeah.
And you achieve those things you didn't think you could do. Your belief in yourself just grows.
Like a cycle. It is a cycle.
Each achievement is another brick.
It is.
In that stack of proof.
Exactly. So keep taking action,
no
matter how small, and watch them all compound over time.
So you become the architect of your own transformation.
That's it.
Okay, so if we had to break all this down, what are the key takeaways from Goggins' approach?
Well, it really starts with understanding that change. And real growth comes from taking action.
Not just talking about it.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing those steps no matter how small.
Okay.
Instead of getting stuck planning or daydreaming.
So walk the walk.
Yeah, put in the work even when it's hard.
Right. And build that stack of proof.
You got it.
You were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and remember, this isn't about comparing yourself to Goggins or like trying to copy his journey exactly. It's about finding your own challenges.
Okay.
Your own mountains to climb. And using those same principles of intention, action, and self-belief.
And it's not about becoming superhuman either, or pushing yourself till you burn out.
Right.
It's about finding that balance of challenging yourself, but taking care of yourself too.
Absolutely. Goggins talks about pushing limits, but he also says you got to listen to your body and mind.
That's important.
It's all about balance, you know?
For triangular.
Pushing yourself and knowing when to rest.
Especially when you're just getting started. It's easy to go too hard too fast.
It is. But sustainability is key.
It is.
And I think Goggins would say that rest and recovery is another way to practice self-awareness and discipline.
Interesting.
It's part of becoming the master of your mind and body.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on David Goggins, what's the one question we should leave our listeners with?
What impossible challenge will you choose to conquer?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and what will be your proof of your self-belief?
That's a good one.
Think about that.
Okay.
And then go make it happen.
I love it. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Great.
We hope you found it helpful and motivating.
Definitely.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep pushing those boundaries and build your own stack of proof.